In the first episode of Fern Beyond Journey's End, we meet a group of adventurers who just defeated the demon lord after a 10-year journey. Fern, an elf mage with a long life, decides to keep traveling and learning. Her human companions, including Himmel, Hader, and Eisen, are ready to settle down. Together, they watch a meteor shower, and Fern promises to show them an even better spot in 50 years. Fast forward 50 years, Fern returns only to find her human friends aging rapidly. Himmel, now in possession of a dragon horn, goes on one final adventure with Fern to witness the meteor shower again before passing away due to old age. At Himmel's funeral, Fern regrets not truly getting to know Himmel during their journey. She decides to learn more about humanity to avoid similar regrets. 20 years later, she finds Hader, now very old, caring for a war orphan named Fern. Fern shows incredible magical talent, and Hader asks Fern for help in researching life-extending magic and tutoring Fern. In episode 2 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, over 4 years, Fern dedicates herself to tutoring Fern and translating an ancient grimoire. During this time, their companion Hader falls gravely ill. Fern, determined to become a mage and show her capabilities to Hader, undergoes rigorous training. She reveals her tragic past, explaining how Hader saved her from suicide after losing her parents. In gratitude, she aspires to prove her ability to survive on her own. A twist occurs when Fern's translation of the grimoire yields no information on achieving immortality, surprising Hader. He admits that the quest for immortality was a pretext to have Fern train Fern. With Hader's passing, Fern decides to join Fern on her travels. However, she's puzzled by Fern's intense focus on learning spells. Their journey takes them to a village where they find a statue of their former companion, Himmel. Fern feels compelled to decorate it with a rare blue moon weed from Himmel's village. Fern becomes frustrated, but Fern eventually shares her motivations, revealing that her pursuit of spells is a way to combat the apathy brought on by her long lifespan. Their relentless search for the blue moon weed pays off when they discover it in a nest of sea rats, allowing Fern to create a field of these flowers in memory of Himmel. Through this, Fern learns the importance of having a passion in life. In episode 3 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the story takes an intriguing turn. Fern becomes suspicious of Fern's behavior and discovers Fern trying to find a suitable birthday gift for her. Realizing Fern's efforts to understand her better, Fern is filled with happiness and appreciation for her friend's gesture. Fern decides to revisit places she once explored with her past companions, Himmel, Hader, and Eisen. Their first destination is a village where Fern had sealed away Qual, the demon of corruption. They learn that the seal is on the verge of breaking and Fern must confront Qual once more. Surprisingly, Fern discovers that Himmel had been checking the seal every year until his passing. He had always been confident that Fern would return before it broke. Fern explains the dangerous nature of Qual, who had developed a deadly killing spell. During Qual's 80-year slumber, human mages had learned and reverse-engineered his spell, enabling them to create new defense spells to counter it. In a clever twist, Fern realizes she can use Qual's own spell against him, allowing her to easily defeat Qual and protect the village. In the 4th episode of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern falls into a trap, exchanging her hard work for a fake grimoire supposedly written by the famous mage Flam. Together, Fern and Fern decide to clean the beach before the new year. As New Year's Day arrives, Fern, known for being a late sleeper, manages to witness the sunrise, a tradition in the local community. She had missed it during her previous visit, causing disappointment among her friends. However, this time the sunrise initially seems unimpressive to Fern. It's only when she observes Fern genuinely enjoying the moment that she comprehends the significance of her previous absence. The reason her absence upset her friends last time was that they were supposed to witness the sunrise together. After that, they visit Eisen, whom they haven't seen in 3 decades. Eisen shares his quest with Fern, seeking Flam's genuine grimoire, which supposedly contains a way to communicate with the dead. Eisen believes it would be immensely beneficial for Fern to have one last conversation with Himmel. Fern recalls her master's words about finding her home if she ever felt regret and the desire to communicate with the deceased. As a result, they embark on a journey to find Flam's genuine grimoire, which reveals the location where all souls converge, known as Oro. This place is situated at the northernmost point of the continent, near the Demon Lord's castle. As they return from their adventure, Eisen expresses his happiness that Fern is learning to care about people and acknowledges her as a great teacher to Fern. Fern requests Eisen's company on their quest to Oro, but he declines, citing that his age would be a hindrance. However, he reminds them that their original journey to the Demon King's castle took a decade, a fact Fern acknowledges. In the 5th episode of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern and her faithful companion Fern continue their journey. Fern acknowledges that 10 years, although significant to humans, is just a fraction of her potentially longer lifespan. Despite this, Fern decides to follow her mentor on this remarkable quest. Their journey takes an intriguing turn as they enter a village plagued by a peculiar phenomenon. Several villagers have mysteriously disappeared after encountering apparitions of their deceased relatives. Fern suspects the work of an anicaps, a formidable monster that employs illusion magic to lure unsuspecting victims. While the illusions can be dispelled with attack magic, the ethical dilemma lies in attacking the spectral forms of one's loved ones, rendering even experienced warriors defenseless and susceptible to the anicaps trap. A moment of intense danger ensues as Fern is nearly ensnared by the ghostly illusion of Hater, someone she cherished. Fern, with her expertise, quickly intervenes by shooting through the illusion of him, exposing the anicaps' true form. This allows Fern to destroy the deceptive monster, putting an end to the village's suffering. Their journey continues with an ambitious goal in mind. Fern intends to slay a dragon to acquire a grimoire from its nest. This endeavor necessitates the help of a strong and skilled warrior. They set out to find Stark, one of Eisen's former students who notably defeated a dragon in a peculiar contest, a staring contest. Stark has since settled nearby but reveals a surprising truth. He has never killed a monster before and won the staring contest out of sheer terror, freezing in the dragon's gaze. Fern, however, grants Stark until the morning to make a life-altering decision. While Fern expresses doubt about his capabilities, Fern has confidence in Stark's hidden potential thanks to Eisen's rigorous training. Stark possesses exceptional strength, as demonstrated by his ability to cut through solid rock with his trusty axe. In Episode 6 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, we witness a significant turning point in the story. Stark, a character who initially appeared hesitant and afraid to confront a dragon, undergoes a transformation. He admits to his own strength but acknowledges the fear that holds him back. Fern, another member of the group, becomes a source of inspiration for Stark, emphasizing the importance of resolve in overcoming one's fears. With Fern's encouragement and the realization that even a seasoned adventurer like Eisen experienced fear before significant battles, Stark decides to face the dragon, albeit reluctantly. In a remarkable display of courage, he successfully takes on the dragon single-handedly, eliminating the need for assistance from Fern and Fern. This moment not only marks Stark's personal growth, but also solidifies his commitment to join Fern on her journey. The trio proceeds north toward the city of V, but they encounter an unexpected obstacle. The city's checkpoint is closed due to escalating monster activity in the northern territories, creating a considerable delay. Fern is content with the idea of staying in the city to continue her magical research. However, Fern and Stark express concerns about this extended delay, as it could take up to 2 years for the checkpoint to reopen. Stark reveals his strong desire to embark on an adventure not only for the thrill of it, but to return to Eisen with captivating stories of his experiences. Fortuitously, the city's Castellan recognizes Fern, believing she is set out to pacify the northern monsters. This recognition leads to the reopening of the checkpoint, and Fern and her companions are given a heartfelt hero send-off. While others' attention might embarrass Fern and Stark are brimming with excitement as they embark on this official commencement of their grand adventure. In Episode 7 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern and her party continue their journey to the north. Fern reveals that the elven race has been steadily declining due to their exceptionally long lives, leading to apathy that even affects their willingness to reproduce. As they traverse the landscape, they stumble upon another village adorned with statues depicting Fern and her original party. These statues commemorate Liberation Day and serve as a poignant reminder of their past adventures. Fern recalls a heartfelt memory of Hemel, one of her companions who insisted on creating these statues to ensure Fern wouldn't forget the very real existence of their legendary group amidst the passage of time. Their journey leads them to another city, but things take an unexpected turn. Fern spots demons and instinctively moves to confront them. However, her actions lead to her arrest by the city guards, who accuse her of threatening peace and boys. Fern and Stark visit her while she's held in the city's dungeon. They divulge crucial information about the ongoing conflict with the Demon Lord's Lieutenant Aura. This demon has waged war against the city for a staggering 28 years, and both sides have now opened peace talks in an attempt to resolve the prolonged hostilities. Fern, drawing from her extensive experience, provides a unique perspective on the situation. She warns her companions that demons are inherently deceitful and incapable of genuine reasoning with humans. Her words are rooted in past encounters and the harsh lessons she has learned from them. Fern's skepticism is proven correct as the true intentions of the demons surface. They aim to manipulate the city into lowering its protective barrier, giving Aura the opportunity to launch a devastating assault with her army. Amidst this chaos, one of the demon attendants, Drought, takes a more sinister path and plans to assassinate Fern. However, she calmly warns him about her formidable power, emphasizing that she is not to be underestimated. In Episode 8 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Drop makes a decision to ignore Freen's warning and launches an attack on her. However, to his dismay, Fern effortlessly defeats him and manages to escape the treacherous dungeon. The city's graph, Granite, begins to grow suspicious of Drought's mysterious disappearance and Fern's sudden escape. These suspicions lead Granite to a tense confrontation with Lubner. With the truth now exposed, Lubner takes drastic action, capturing Granite with the sinister intention of coercing him into disabling the city's protective barrier. Meanwhile, Fern and Stark, fellow adventurers, decide to unite in a common cause. They agree to warn Granite about Lubner's malicious plans when they unexpectedly cross paths with Fern. However, Fern resolutely declines their pleas for assistance against Lubner. She displays unwavering confidence in Fern and Stark's strength, firmly believing they are more than capable of defeating this menacing foe. In a bold move, Fern chooses to leave her allies behind and confront Lubner, who has positioned herself outside the city with her formidable army. As night falls, Fern and Stark muster their courage and carry out a daring mission, infiltrating the city's keep to engage Lubner. In a coordinated effort, they manage to inflict significant wounds upon him. However, realizing that Granite has been gravely injured, the two adventurers face a moral dilemma. They decide to rescue Granite and make a strategic retreat from the situation. As Lubner takes time to heal his wounds, he is struck by a sudden realization. He recalls the formidable reputation of Fern, also known as Fern the Slayer, renowned for her record of vanquishing more demons than anyone else in history. Outside the city, Fern stands face to face with Aura, setting the stage for a potentially epic confrontation. In Episode 9 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern and Stark successfully transport the gravely injured Granite to safety within the town's church. Here, Granite reveals critical information about Aura's trump card, the Scales of Obedience, a potent magical artifact. These scales have a unique ability to measure the amount of mana possessed by both Aura and her opponents. The individual with the greater mana becomes the dominant force, enabling them to control the weaker party. This is how Aura has amassed her formidable army of puppets. Fern takes action and begins to dismantle some of Aura's puppet soldiers. Her observations of Aura's behavior lead her to a chilling conclusion. Aura, lacking an understanding of humanity, can be treated much like any other monstrous threat. Fern resolves to confront Aura, setting the stage for a showdown. Back within the city, Lubner and his loyal assistant Lini launch an ambush against Fern and Stark. Initially, the demons appear to have the upper hand in this confrontation. However, the tables turn when Stark uncovers Len's formidable fighting style, which she had previously copied by observing Eisen during a battle. Stark strategically accepts a blow from Len's axe, creating an opening to land a decisive and deadly counterattack. Simultaneously, Fern exploits her unique strength. Her swiftness in casting spells allows her to steadily wear down Lubner's defenses, ultimately delivering a fatal blow and securing their victory. In Episode 10 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Lubner, mortally wounded, finds himself perplexed by Fern's extraordinary power. The revelation strikes him when he realizes that Fern had been deliberately suppressing her mana, presenting a facade of weakness while concealing her true strength, a practice considered taboo among mages. Fern, having outmaneuvered Lubner, delivers the final blow, bringing an end to his character. A poignant flashback unfolds, transporting us 1,000 years into the past. Flame, the character introduced earlier, stumbles upon a decimated elf village and discovers Fern as the sole survivor. Fern, exhibiting remarkable strength, had managed to slay a demon general during the attack. Impressed by Fern's potential, Flame takes her under her wing, becoming her mentor. Flame imparts a crucial skill to Fern, how to indefinitely suppress her mana. She also teaches Fern the art of combat against demons. Flame elucidates a strategic advantage over demons who, due to their pride, are unable to suppress their own mana. By deceiving them into a false sense of security through mana suppression, they become susceptible to surprise attacks. Flame's foresight extends to instructing Fern to live in obscurity, continuously training and suppressing her mana until she becomes powerful enough to confront the Demon King. 1,000 years later, Himmel and his party actively seek out Fern, attempting to recruit her. Fern, perceptive to Himmel's innate ability to sense true power, decides to join their ranks. In the present, Aura employs the Scales of Obedience, a magical tool, only to be horrified when Fern unveils the true extent of her mana. Aura, dominated by Fern, is compelled to behead herself under Fern's commanding influence. In Episode 11 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the narrative unfolds as Fern and her companions pay their respects to Aura's victims, finding solace in Granite's hospitality. Continuing their journey, they plan to visit Orst, a prominent magical city in the Northern Lands, with the intention of acquiring a first-class mage certification to navigate the Northern Plateau. However, their plans take an unexpected turn as they become ensnared in a blizzard at the foot of the War Mountains, endangering Stark with hypothermia. In a stroke of fortune, they chance upon an emergency cabin and encounter an elven monk named Kraft. To weather the harsh winter, Fern and her party decide to stay with Kraft for 6 months within the confines of the cabin. Kraft opens up to Fern, sharing his reasons for worshipping the goddess. With old friends gone and achievements forgotten, Kraft believes the goddess will remember and praise him in heaven. As their bond deepens, Kraft inquires about Fern's past, expressing his willingness to praise her in the absence of the goddess. This triggers a poignant flashback where Hyder had spoken similar words to her. Declining Kraft's offer, Fern asserts that someone else has already praised her. This prompts Kraft to impart valuable advice, urging Fern to cherish her friends and companions. As the blizzard subsides and the winter passes, Kraft bids farewell to Fern and her party. In episode 12 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern and her party make a stop at the village of the Sword on their way to Orst. This village serves as the resting place of the legendary hero's sword, and Fern has a duty to regularly clear out monsters drawn to it. Stark, intrigued by the hero's sword given stories of Himmel successfully pulling it from the stone, learns from Fern that Himmel actually failed in the attempt. Although tales were later embellished to suggest otherwise, Fern fondly recalls Himmel's determination to prove himself a hero even without the sword, pledging to defeat the Demon Lord. Moving forward, the party arrives at the next town, and Fern, learning it's Stark's 18th birthday, decides to celebrate. Stark, unaccustomed to receiving gifts due to his warrior family's beliefs, opens up about his past. He shares the harsh treatment he received, being considered a failure and ostracized for fleeing during a monster attack in his village. Fern, with empathy and reassurance, pledges that she and Fern will support him and ensure he won't run away. Together, they choose a silver bracelet as Stark's birthday gift. Back at the inn, Fern surprises Stark with Hamburg steaks, a dish traditionally prepared by Eisen. This triggers a poignant memory of Stark's older brother, Stultz, who secretly cooked him Hamburg steak on his birthday. Stultz, the one who urged Stark to escape the village for a chance at a better life, is revealed as the person who truly cared for him. Stark experiences a sense of closure, realizing the depth of his brother's love. In episode 13 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the story unfolds as Fern rescues a local priest from a perilous swamp. Grateful for the rescue, the priest returns the favor by using his healing skills to cure Stark after he is bitten by a poisonous snake. During their interactions, Sin's brother reveals that Sin possesses a natural talent for healing spells. He shares with Fern a dream Sin had as a child to become an adventurer. However, over the years, Sin lost his passion for this dream, leading him to decline an invitation from his best friend a decade ago. Intrigued by Sin's apathy, which resonates with the apathy she once felt before joining Himmel's party, Fern decides to take it upon herself to reignite Sin's adventurous spirit. She sees a reflection of her past struggles in Sin and is determined to save him from his own indifference. As the narrative unfolds, Sin finally opens up about his reluctance to leave the village. He discloses that he knew his brother turned down an opportunity to move to the Holy City to avoid separating Sin from their hometown. This revelation triggers a deeper exploration of Sin's inner conflict. In a pivotal moment, Sin's brother intervenes by slapping him and pointing out that he never regretted his decisions, unlike Sin, who clearly carries regrets. This emotional confrontation proves to be a turning point for Sin, compelling him to join Fern's party with the goal of finding his friend and reigniting the adventurer spirit within him. In episode 14 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the narrative takes a poignant turn as the party reaches the next town. A falling out occurs between Fern and Stark when the latter fails to secure a birthday present for Fern. Sin, offering sage advice, encourages Fern to be more understanding, reminding her that young men like Stark might not remember everything. He advises her to express her feelings more openly, attempting to mend the rift. Fern tries to apologize, but Stark beats her to it, confessing that he wanted to choose her gift together, but was too nervous to suggest it. Stark, acknowledging his mistake, decides to rectify it by purchasing a new bracelet for Fern. Fern, impressed by Sin's mature perspective, compares him to Hyder, noting his qualities as a proper adult. As the group continues toward the next village, Fern recognizes that the bracelet Stark chose for her bears a design similar to a ring that Himmel once bought for her. Suddenly, a flying monster attacks their wagon, leading to a chaotic encounter. In the midst of the confusion, Fern manages to kill the creature, but her cherished ring is lost. The party shifts its focus to repairing the damaged wagon. Sin enlightens the group about the symbolism of the mirrored lotus, the design on Fern's bracelet, and Fern's lost ring, signifying eternal love. Stark, embarrassed by the intimate connotations of the bracelet, shares his discomfort. However, Fern, demonstrating understanding, doesn't mind the symbolism. Fern, determined to recover her lost ring, receives a spell from the grateful merchant assisting them, designed to locate lost accessories. Using the spell, Fern successfully retrieves her ring. The episode concludes with a heartfelt moment as Fern reminisces about the time when Himmel purchased the ring for her. Though she initially picked it out herself, Himmel, aware of its hidden meaning, graciously placed it on her finger, creating a moment reminiscent of a proposal. In episode 15 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern and her party arrive at a seemingly peaceful village only to discover that a malevolent monster has cursed its residents, plunging them into an eternal slumber. Despite their best efforts, the curse proves formidable, affecting Fern, Stark, and even Fern herself. The only member immune to the curse is Sin, owing to his role as a priest with resistance to such magical afflictions. In a tense moment, Sin manages to briefly awaken Fern, enabling her to confront and defeat the monstrous entity responsible for the curse. However, Sin harbors concerns about potential miscommunications, exacerbating the situation. The story progresses as Fern and her companions reach the city of Vori, a pivotal relay point on their journey to Orst. Their respite is short-lived as a noble named Orden approaches them. Orden proposes an unusual request. He asks Stark to impersonate his deceased son, Weir, during an upcoming soiree attended by influential figures in the region. The fabricated narrative is that Weir survived a recent battle and is recuperating, a deception aimed at maintaining high morale among the people. Initially hesitant, Fern declines Orden's proposition. However, facing financial constraints, she reluctantly agrees when Orden sweetens the deal with a tempting offer of gold and a coveted grimoire. Stark and Fern find themselves thrust into the world of noble etiquette, diligently preparing for their roles at the impending soiree. The event unfolds without incident as Stark and Fern successfully navigate their charade. Following the soiree, Orden extends an invitation to Stark to stay in Vori permanently. However, Stark declines, recognizing the inherent limitations of being a substitute for Weir and acknowledging his yearning to return to Eisen. As Fern chooses a grimoire from Orden's offerings, Stark, Fern, and Sin observe Orden engaging in the training of his second son, Mutt. In the 16th episode of Fern Beyond Journey's End, Fern decides to take a detour to visit an old friend in a village. This friend is Old Man V, an elderly dwarf with a poignant commitment to safeguard the village in memory of his departed human wife. The reunion is heartwarming, with Old Man V expressing sheer delight at Fern's unexpected visit. Over the next week, Old Man V not only catches up with his dear friend, but also engages in training sessions with Stark to further strengthen their bonds. However, amidst the joyous moments, Fern keenly observes that Old Man V is succumbing to the challenges of old age and growing increasingly frail. In response, she makes a solemn promise to carry on his memory in the same way she honors the memories of Himmel, Hader, and Eisen. As Fern and her party resume their journey toward Orst, a significant development unfolds. Sin halts at the final crossroads before the city. He inquires with the local village about his friend known as Guerrilla Warrior. The only person with information is a stubborn old woman who imposes a series of errands on the party, with the last task involving the cleaning of statues depicting forgotten heroes. During this task, Fern recognizes one of the statues as Kraft, triggering a cascade of memories. Sin, in the midst of the chores, recollects that identical statues were the inspiration for him and Guerrilla Warrior to embark on their adventurous journey. Sin faces a dilemma when he learns that Guerrilla Warrior chose a different path from Orst. Now he must decide whether to follow the trail of his friend or continue traveling with Fern's party. In episode 17 of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the narrative unfolds as Sin contemplates a decision, prompting the party to linger in a village. However, their intended departure is thwarted by an unexpected snowstorm, confining them to the village for an entire month. Within this period, interpersonal dynamics come to the forefront and tensions arise between Fern and Stark, stemming from a seemingly inadvertent incident. In a moment of unintended vigor, Stark grabs Fern's shoulder too firmly, causing her distress. Sin takes on the role of a mediator, persuading the two to reconcile. The snowstorm eventually abates, freeing them to resume their journey. Sin, driven by a quest to find Guerrilla Warrior, parts ways with the party while Fern and the others set their course for Orst. During their journey, Fern falls ill, prompting a necessary stop in a small village for her treatment. In this vulnerable moment, Fern discloses a touching detail to Stark. When Fern is unwell, Fern habitually clasps her hand, offering emotional support. This gesture evokes memories for Fern as she reminisces about a similar act of care when Himmel did the same for her during their travels. With Fern on the path to recovery, the party resumes their journey and ultimately arrives at Orst. The timing is crucial, aligning with Sin and Fern's participation in the first-class mage exam. In the 18th episode of Fern Beyond Journey's End, the narrative unfolds as Fern and Fern journey on the road to Orst. Their conversation revolves around the rarity of first-class mages and the challenging process of obtaining certification for such a distinguished status. Fern expresses her uncertainties about passing the exam required for this prestigious title. Fern, however, reassures Fern that magical capacity isn't the sole determinant, sharing her personal experiences of losing to individuals with lower magical capacity. Meanwhile, the storyline introduces Yale, a mage who becomes entangled with 3 bandits. Instead of engaging in a direct confrontation, Kraft intervenes to protect the bandits from Yale. Kraft reveals his awareness of Yale's past actions, including the murder of several bandits. Following a tense encounter, Yale introduces herself to Kraft, and they part ways. The focus then shifts back to Fern and Fern as they arrive at the association, successfully signing up for the first-class mage exam. After a 2-month preparation period, they undertake the challenging exam. Fern is grouped with Levine and Khan, childhood friends with a competitive relationship. In contrast, Fern finds herself teamed with Yale. The first test of the exam involves capturing a still, a task that proves to be exceptionally challenging due to the bird's incredible speed. Amidst the difficulties, Fern observes the unique dynamic between Levine and Khan, who, despite their constant bickering, exhibit flawless teamwork. Fern's ingenuity and quick thinking come into play as she saves Khan from a monster, leading to a heartfelt conversation between them. Khan, despite her aversion to Levine, values the partnership because Levine motivates her to strive for improvement. In a surprising twist, Khan shares an observation about the still's behavior, providing Fern with crucial information.